Previously in the colony.
Crime Spree is the name of the game. Today we are gonna rob every single chest in the entire old camp.
Chciałbym zostać mistrzem kieszonkowców.
Ale musisz pamiętać, że nawet mistrzowie złodziejscy od czasu do czasu zostają złapani. Uważaj na siebie.
So all Fingers taught us for those 20 learning points is you'll still get caught and take care. You need to enter sneaking mode, and now you need to press action and forward when facing a character's back. Cannot be stolen from. You're not even told this in advance, but you can never ever pickpocket a single named character. Named characters are the ones you want to steal from, not your generic diggers and shadows. But alas, they are the only targets, and for the Master of Stealth achievement, we need to pickpocket from 25 different people. So let me start out here. You can see the shadow will definitely see us, but we have managed to swipe a torch. This is considered a success because the digger we pickpocketed from did not notice, but the shadow noticed. I mean, Fingers was warning us you need to do it when your victim is alone and isolated, which is almost never. That's how worthless pickpocketing is. Also, good opportunity for... was unexpected. We are a master of pickpocketing, interfering.
Czemu się tak skrada?
Okay. Oh, we have a level. Oh no, we got caught. Perfect. This is focusing on the campfire. Oh, only...
Co się tak skradasz?
This cost only 30 learning points. It worked nicely. They probably didn't pay protection money, yeah? Okay, we robbed him from the front this time. Okay, return to your conversation. Excellent. Driving me crazy. Couple we need to rob. If their buddy warns them.
Hey, ty!
Guys,
Dlaczego się tak
we have
skradasz?
officially robbed 25 people, and Master of Stealth was ours.
Chciałbym zostać ekspertem w otwieraniu zamków.
Prawdziwy mistrz w tym fachu potrafi otworzyć każdą skrzynię, nie łamiąc ani jednego wytrycha.
True, or someone using a guide. But the point is you want to use the numbered hotkey or the tilt for unarmed to break out of the chest closing animation. Let me show that to you in practice.
Hej, ty!
This should be a longer
Precz z
chest.
mojej chaty albo
Oh, look.
wezwę strażę.
This is Diego's combination. Ooh, that was something very interesting there. Mertana's poetry.
Spadaj z mojej
And this,
chaty
my friends,
albo wezwę straż.
It's the 20th chest through this run we have opened, meaning the locksmith achievement is ours, where we're actually gonna sneak. Notice the animation when sneaking with a torch is a bit different and unfortunately a little bit slower than normal one, but it's fine. I want to do this. Field bow, 28 range damage. Almost no one has protection against range damage. If the game is full of bugs and glitches, we can call it a bullshit. Get your weapon out. Fisk has his weapon out. Oh my god, this is huge. Finally he noticed. Guys, we need to make it inside now. Finally he reacted to us getting our weapon out, and that was the point when he's not gonna react to you opening the door. Thank goodness it finally worked. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh yeah, I just did the 5th one for whatever reason, then twice, right? This one, my friends, is what it's all about. Essence of dexterity, dexterity bonus, +3. When they say bonus, what they actually mean a permanent increase to dexterity, okay guys? Are you gonna sleep snuff? Are you... No, of course not. Anyway. But he doesn't mind that we are here for whatever reason now, so sneaking did something. Recipes book! Oh my god, yes, oh, love these things. It said volume 1. You need to open the character sheet, type Marvin, and test mode will be on. We are now officially in test mode, and when pressing F2, you can enable the console. What you want to type in is insert, and now you have to type the German name of the recipes volume 2, which says Rezepturen 2, so Rezepturen 2, and when we insert it, it's gonna appear next to us, which is excellent. The Wine of Oblivion, and this is the interesting one. The best grapes for this wine are found high up on the slopes of Arcolos. As essence of dexterity, increasing our dexterity via +3, we now have 13 dexterity, which unfortunately means we're still 1 point lacking. But don't worry, we're gonna take care of that in the next episode.
Nie mógłbyś wstawić się za mną u Diego?
Zręcznych złodziei.
Yeah, we only robbed everyone.
Możesz na mnie liczyć.
Thank you, Fingers. Now you know why pickpocketing sucks, now you know why learning lockpicking is useless. But lockpicking itself, if you have the patience for it, is actually incredibly rewarding and fun. So hello and welcome everyone to Let's Play Gothic Classic, as we call it nowadays. This is Zelgadis115 speaking, and I'd like to welcome you to our 5th day inside the colony. Now normally guys, I would tell you what's up in today's episode. However, this time I would like to start with a bit of news, because my god, we got news. So first of all, the classic versions of Gothic 1, 2 and 3 were finally announced with their release dates on consoles, and as I was reading this announcement I saw the price tag €30 and I thought, you know what, this is reasonably priced. This is just like the Tomb Raider remasters, you know, 1, 2, 3 with expansions packaged together with a new coat of paint, a new frame rate, excellent. 30 is a reasonable price. And then I kept reading on and I realized, oh, you mean 30 for Gothic 1 plus 30 for Gothic 2 plus 30 for Gothic 3. And technically we don't have confirmation if Gothic 2 even includes Night of the Raven, or if Gothic 3 includes Forsaken Gods. But I kind of lost my mind at this announcement. You're essentially telling us that this classic quarter-of-a-century-old trilogy is now going to cost €90 to buy, just to have a better resolution and trophies on consoles, as opposed to playing them on PC where you can get them for like $2, often on a sale. I don't know what THQ Nordic are thinking. This is coming from the same people who have announced Switch version fixes onto PC 3 years ago. Nothing happened since. People who have announced these games on consoles and before even announcing a release date have announced an iOS version. And people who have first announced the price tag for the ridiculously expensive collector's edition for Gothic Remake before even showing us any gameplay footage from Gothic Remake to actually make us excited. The way THQ Nordic marketing and pricing is out of touch, I'm willing to bet anything that these people never played a video game in their life. I'm not talking about the developers, of course. And I'm just incredibly disappointed in them. So guys, please do not pay this money, just get them on PC. Your old laptop can run this, your office computer can run these games. Maybe Gothic 3 with some difficulties, but what I'm trying to say is this is absolutely outrageous. Now, there's one thing I am gonna do. If you've seen my previous videos, you know that I have a very firm stance against pre-ordering things, because it's a terrible business practice and it sends a positive signal to companies that it is okay. Now, I get pre-ordering for things like collector's editions, you know, limited physical goodies included. I get that. They're not gonna make tens of thousands of these. There's a limited quantity. But pre-ordering digital games? Why? What's the benefit? And see, there is no benefit, which is why there are often pre-order bonuses. And here's what they've done in regards to pre-ordering Gothic Remake and packaging it together with Gothic Classic. So Gothic Classic is supposed to come out by the end of July, which is almost 2 months after the release of Gothic Remake, which, by the way, is again the exact opposite of what I would have recommended. First give us Gothic 1 Classic, then Gothic Remake, but okay. If you pre-order Gothic Remake today, you get to play Gothic 1 Classic already on Xbox and PlayStation. And here's the problem, guys. I feel like it is my duty to test the console version of Gothic 1 Classic, and especially test all the achievements and trophies, how they work, if they work, before I even release the next video after this one. Because I am making this Let's Play series as a guide for achievements and trophies as well, according to the leaked achievements list. Well, no longer leaked, it's out there now. And I feel like if I was to make a mistake in my Let's Play series out of pride of not wanting to pre-order, I would maintain my pride, but I would end up hurting you guys and making a more terrible guide. So I am, for the first time in my life, gonna break my oath not to pre-order anything, and I'm gonna pre-order Gothic 1 Remake to get Gothic 1 Classic on consoles today. And I have a lot of work ahead of me. I will play through the whole game, test all the achievements, and then by the time I will release 6th episode, I will know how they work. This is all assuming, of course, the achievements are live now. If they're not, then I'm not gonna bother. Okay, so guys, just wanted to be transparent about how I feel about this and what I'm gonna do with this. But again, I'm approaching this from a content creation point of view, but if you're, just want to play the games, enjoy them for yourselves, there's no need to rush. Wait for a discount or get them on PC. This is absolute nonsense. And also, guys, unless you are under time pressure because you want to cover this on your channel or something like that, don't pre-order digital stuff. Why? I have yet to hear someone tell me why pre-ordering should be done for something that is of unlimited quantity. So anywho, guys, just wanted to share the news, a bit of a bittersweet moment. I thought when this is going to be announced, I'm going to be happy. And again, I guess maybe Tomb Raider remasters have set an unfair standard of what I should expect pricing to be. But again, quarter of a century old games asking €30 for each. Hell no. And I also don't know, we officially don't know if Night of the Raven is going to be included with Gothic 2. And Forsaken Gods with Gothic 3. You know we love Forsaken Gods. Rivaled only via the Fall of Setarif from Arcadia. Guys, if you actually know what I'm talking about, kudos to you. You're real hardcore fans of Gothic. So anywho, let's focus on today's episode. Last time we've been stealing the entirety of the outer ring of the old camp. Actually, let me maybe show it on the map over here. Let's see. Oh, it's the very first one. Today, we're actually gonna enter the castle courtyard and rob the barracks, the smithy, the surrounding fortifications, even the mage's temple, everything but the Ore Baron's house, to which we don't have access to yet, okay? What that actually means when we look at a map with the dots mod, if we zoom in, is we're gonna see the northern brown dots disappear from the castle. Now, to get to the castle, we need to talk to Thoros. Remember last time? He asked for 1,000 ore nuggets almost as a joke. Well, since we robbed everyone in the outer ring, we now have the money to put it where our mouth is.
Masz tu swoje 1000 bryłek rudy, a teraz pozwól mi przejść.
W porządku, idź. Tylko jak już będziesz w środku, nie wywin czegoś głupiego, dobra?
You know, it's funny. Everyone wakes up the next day, everyone's possessions are missing. The day the newcomer came to the camp, and suddenly he's giving 1,000 ore nuggets to Thoros. No one's gonna be suspicious.
Stój!
Spokojnie, rozmawiałem z Torusem. Powiedział, że mogę wejść.
Zapamiętałem sobie twoją twarz, koleś. Jak zaczniesz rozrabiać, szybko się z tobą rozprawię.
See, even these guys aren't happy about it, but you can pester about it even more.
Ale wciąż mogę wejść do środka.
Pod warunkiem, że przestaniesz zadawać głupie pytania.
Głupie pytania. And what about this fella over here?
Hej, wszystko w porządku?
Przestań się tu kręcić, właź do środka!
You know, they react exactly how your colleagues when you're stuck in a ride in an elevator together would react, and they're just not in the mood for nonsense. Okay, now there's a god named Scorpio. I like Scorpio, although
Kto cię
why
tu wpuścił?
Torus.
I czego tu szukasz?
will not be apparent now. Anywho, let's tell him it's all about the mages. I mean, we're safe here, right? They obey
Mam
Thoros.
wiadomość dla magów.
Pracujesz dla magów? Nie chcę mieć z nimi nic do czynienia.
I wonder if there's a story there.
Możesz mnie nauczyć lepiej walczyć?
Szkole tylko strażników, więc dopóki Torus nie przyjmie cię w nasze szeregi, musisz poszukać sobie innego nauczyciela.
Now, despite the guards next to Scorpio swinging their swords, he is in fact a crossbow teacher. Despite not having a crossbow. Yeah, they messed this detail up somewhat, but yeah, he can teach us later on in the game how to shoot those beautiful things, and yeah, he's gonna be very important later on. Now, guys, we have access to the courtyard and the fortifications, the barracks, the magician's temple. This right here, attached to the largest tower in the camp, is the Ore Baron's house. If you try to enter here, well...
Stój! Ani kroku dalej!
Dlaczego?
Takie łachudry jak ty nie mają wstępu do siedziby magnatów.
That's fair, we just robbed everyone. And yeah, they're not gonna give you another warning, you take another step, they automatically attack. But this guy, despite having generic dialogue options, we can ask this unique line over here.
Co to za dom?
To siedziba magnatów. Jeśli chcesz tam wejść, radzę ci należycie się zachowywać.
Well, that doesn't mean they're letting us in now, however. So yeah. Now, I was hoping that... Oh, there he is, just walking outside. Perfect. Cutter, yeah, I want to talk to you.
Wasz zamek jest bardzo duży.
Chyba cię tu jeszcze nie widziałem. Kim jesteś?
Jestem tu nowy. Chciałem się trochę rozejrzeć.
So, another guard wearing the armor like Thoros or Jekyll.
Możesz mi opowiedzieć o
Pretty
tym
high
zamku?
ranking.
Co tu dużo mówić, Gomez i jego ludzie zajęli go po wielkim buncie. Od początku wiedziałem, że warto będzie stanąć po jego stronie. Wielu z nas, jeszcze jako więźniowie zamknięci w lochach lub zmuszani do pracy w kopalni, uznawało zwierzchnictwo Gomeza.
Czy te lochy znajdują się pod zamkiem?
Tak, ale teraz świecą pustką. Nikt tam nie schodził od czasu Wielkiego Buntu.
That's pretty cool. You know, these guys are absolute extortionist assholes, a mafia essentially, but at least they're symbolically not using dungeons they themselves have been subjected to. I'm glad they're not subjecting diggers to that.
Jak wygląda życie strażnika?
Jest spokojne. Jesteśmy największym i najsilniejszym obozem w kolonii. Nikt nie śmie nas zaczepiać.
Rozumiem.
Mogę przejść?
Indeed they are, and I'd like to think this single line made a huge impression on Nameless. These guys are the toughest gang. They're also the only people carrying crossbows, which is like the pinnacle of military technology in this world right now. Outside of siege engines, maybe. So, yeah, nobody in New Camp or the Brotherhood has access to crossbows. These guys are the best equipped gang since they trade with the king. Now, over to the side over here should be the Smithy, and a smith called Stone, and if you played Arcolos Chronicles of Myrtana, you know Stone. And you know why he's here.
Jesteś kowalem, czyż nie?
Racja.
Sprzedajesz oręż i zbroję?
Handlem bronią para się skip. Ja zajmuję się tylko pancerzami.
Masz może coś ciekawego na sprzedaż?
Tylko pancerze dla strażników, a ty nie jesteś jednym z nich. Dlatego będziesz musiał poszukać gdzie indziej.
But one day, Stone, one day, you're gonna give us the best guard's arm, right? It's not like it's inaccessible in this game. Oh, by the way, if you talk to Stone again and immediately end the dialogue, he has a unique line.
Do zobaczenia.
Just wanted to show you. Okay, guys, so let's focus on these chests over here. They should be left, right, left, right, right, left. If you're gonna steal anything, please make sure it's a +3 permanent boost strength potion. Guys, this is incredible. No one even minds that you're lockpicking these. Even on the Switch version, if Stone was turned the other way, I could have just, you know, lockpick these chests freely. Okay, so... Guys, rusty two-hander, outside of a pickaxe, the first two-handed weapon that we found, 61 points of damage. Now you see just how powerful two-handed weapons are, but look at it, the value, 1480. Half of that is what we can sell it for, which is absolutely incredible. 3 more additional raw steels, which I'm always happy to see. Okay. And now, guys, before we approach Skip and I tell you all about him, I would like to draw your attention to the door over here. See, this door over here requires Skip's key to unlock. The problem is, Skip's key is another one of those items that was not implemented into the game. However, even if it was, and you can use an insert code like I did with the Recipes book volume 2 in the previous episode, Skip's key doesn't actually unlock this door, they forgot to program it that way. So the only way through this door is glitching and cheating your way through, and I'm hoping they will fix this in the console version. Now, I feel it's my responsibility that in case you guys will be playing this eventually on Xbox, PlayStation, is to show you what's inside and the codes to those chests. So if you forgive me, since the game does BS, I'm gonna do BS as well, and I'm gonna cheat my way in there via repeatedly tapping F8 after turning on the Marvin mode, okay? So, inside are 2 chests. Let's now check what is in there. 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, ones. Huge codes for a good reason. Look at it. And for us, 3 skins of a Shadow Beast, that's 150 nuggets. Smith's hammers, but 4 more raw steel. You know what we're gonna turn raw steel into. Another chest with an equally long code is right, triple left, right, double left, right. And this thing has... just look at it. We're starting with short swords, which are barely better than spiked club, then moving on to Farmer's Defense, Lurker's Bite, Thorn of Wounds, Digger's Discipline. Remember what a big deal that was when we bought it off Fisk, but there's something better. Guard's Sword. Oh yes, baby, 32 damage. And it has a really beautiful hilt. Now guys, another way you can overcome this, rather than F8ing yourself out of there, is also to draw your weapon and try to face through the corner of the door. However, this can be a little dangerous and can often result in you falling through the map. So, a much safer way is just again to F8 yourself back, okay? And now I'm gonna turn off the test mode. There we go. So this is on PC the only way I found of getting there. I have also messed around with unofficial patch, which included skip ski into the game. And after picking it up and approaching the door, you still can unlock it. So this is the only way on PC I know how to reach it. Hopefully this is going to be useful to console players regarding those key combinations. So let's talk to Skip and be very careful how you talk to this guy, because this has implications and it might block off an entire merchant interface.
Czym się tutaj zajmujesz?
Dbam o broń strażników.
Sprzedajesz oręż?
Też, ale tylko Gomezowi i jego ludziom.
And that's exactly the entry we got into the journal. The guard Skip at the back courtyard sells weapons. Back courtyard, Smithy, but okay, but only to Gomez's men. We're not one of them, but let's tell him Thoros sent us on an important assignment, which is technically true.
Przysyła mnie Torus. Kazał mi wybrać sobie jakąś broń.
Czyżby?
He wants to do something for him that none of you can do, do you see? Now, I originally used to think we're just bragging and being a tough guy, and I was like, of course he's not gonna fall for it, but what he actually means is the quest with Mordrak, where he cannot assign it to any of his people or magicians will be angry. That's what we mean by this line.
Widzisz, mam zrobić dla niego coś, czego nie może zrobić żaden z ludzi Gomeza.
Tak? I pewnie stary Torus nie ma nic lepszego do roboty niż przysyłać cię do mnie, co?
And since Skip needs a little bit more convincing, let's tell him about the kick in the butt.
Powiedział, że mam ci dać porządnego kopa w dupę, jeśli będziesz sprawiał kłopoty.
Dobra, stary. Czego potrzebujesz?
What I love about Gothic is that you persuade people not based on a dice roll or an attribute, but your own dialogue choices. This is incredible.
Przydałoby mi się kilka drobiazgów.
Mam kilka drobiazgów na sprzedaż.
If you choose any of these options in a different order, you're gonna fail to convince Skip and his interface is gonna be closed off. It might reopen if you join Gomez's people in the future, but I'm not really sure about that, so I'd rather not mess it up here. Now guys, we received those guard swords with 32 points of damage, but Skip has an even better one called Battle Sword. 33 points of damage, which is really the best melee weapon we found so far, so let's absolutely get it, let's get all the ammo, and let's get 800 pieces of ore, and we have sufficient lockpicks for now. Since this is a large quantity of ore, take a note that you might be able to give him a rusty two-handed sword. But not two of them, he doesn't have quite as much. We need to find another person to sell this to later on. So let's sell all the valuable weapons which we will no longer wield. Okay, and now, one additional piece of ore. No, I'm not letting you have that, Skip. Instead, why don't you just... Okay, I'm gonna leave you with one crossbow bolt, Skip. Okay? You'll be able to supply lots of people with that, I'm sure. Anywho, guys, despite us having paid 1,000 ore nuggets to get into the castle somewhat early, we now made 800 back and even more in ammunition. It's absolutely worth it paying those 1,000 nuggets. But of course, if you're concerned about that, you can first deal with Mordrak and then get an entrance to the castle. Okay, so there's a guard just minding their business. There's a broken off tower. See, this is where the tower we entered during the previous episode with the chest leads to, which is really interesting. It was originally at this corner of the castle. Now we can see with the Vob locator some additional chests, but these are inside the Ore Baron's house that we do not yet have access to. But I want to take my time and really make you familiarize yourself with the layout of the castle. Everything is handcrafted in this place, so... Anyway. Magicians. Oh boy. Guys, remember this letter? Letter to the Magicians of Fire, the seal must not be open? I'm gonna explain how this entire quest works, but first, let's talk to the magician over here and say an appropriate greeting. Greetings, magician. Jak se masz, magu?
Witaj, magu.
Witaj,
Innos
magu.
zawsze macie w swojej opiece. Zajmuję się sprzedażą magicznych artefaktów i mogę ci pokazać, jak zwiększyć twoje zdolności magiczne.
Magiczne artefakty. So Torres is an excellent merchant, especially in later chapters, but let's now ask about mana, so we need more
Potrzebuję
magic power.
większej mocy magicznej.
Pokażę ci, jak zwiększyć twoje zdolności magiczne. Jak je wykorzystać, zależy już tylko od ciebie.
Indeed, guys, and this is a very simple conversion rate. One skill point equals one mana increase. You can theoretically already dump 30 points into increasing your mana pool, although it's not going to do you much good if you have no magical circles, and I'll explain in today's episode as well. So let's not do that, and honestly guys, if you're doing a jack of all trades playthrough like I am, where we are going to learn all the magical circles, you're still not gonna need to dump a single skill point into mana. For the longest time, we'll be carrying accessories that will increase our mana pool, and then in later parts of the game, we're gonna find so many permanent mana increasing items that it's not gonna be really necessary. But if you want to play a Templar with the Brotherhood of the Sleeper, which is an incredibly fun way to play, or if you want to have access to magic early and join the Fire Magicians, I would recommend even at level 4 with 30 learning points, just hold off of increasing mana. Do it once you have at least that first circle and then make more strategic decisions, okay? So it's something I don't recommend increasing early. Now, we can also check the magical writings.
Poszukuję magicznych ksiąg.
Okay, excellent. Now, there is a lot to go through here. There are 3 volumes of Words of Gods, the complete series, which I'm always happy to see. Then second and third circle. Guys, these 2 books are so much fun. However, until we have the first circle one, I would like to start with that one. And that one is still not accessible. I think in New Camp we might get our hands on it. So I'm not gonna buy them for now. I am gonna buy them now, but I'm not gonna read them in today's episode. And I think that's about it. That's 550 aura value, which is a lot, but not quite enough for us to sell him the Rusty Two-Hander. But let's maybe get rid of these. Oh, and I should re-equip the Battle Sword so we can sell Digger's Discipline. Should have done that before. No matter, we have so much junk on us. Okay. Oh, skins of Shadow Beasts, wolf skins, excellent. Quite a few amphoras, and we can essentially give him 1 point via, again, a crossbow bolt. We're gonna be using arrows way earlier than crossbow bolts, so let's do this. Excellent. Now, let me just re-equip this battle sword. Oh, it is significantly longer than Digger's Discipline. Thank goodness, because Digger's Discipline was a bit too short. Now, let's keep pestering Taurus about how to become a magician. We're really impressed by the comfortable-looking robes they're wearing.
Co powinienem zrobić, żeby zostać magiem?
Porozmawiaj z mistrzem Corristo, jeśli znajdzie czas, żeby cię wysłuchać.
Okay, Master Corristo, is there by any chance the High Magician of the Circle of
Szukam
Fire?
arcymistrza magów ognia.
Zgłoś się do Miltena, a teraz znikaj.
Milton is not Corristo. But let's get clarification on that from Rodriguez over here.
Szukam arcymistrza magów ognia.
Zgłoś się do Miltena.
Ah, that's why.
On się zajmuje kurierami.
So there's
A
an
już, zejdź mi z drogi.
additional person dealing with lowly folks like us. That's fine. Okay, I'm not sure if I need to save for this, but I'd rather save because...
Nie wolno ci
Okay.
przekroczyć progu tego domu bez pozwolenia mistrza Corristo.
So, funny you should mention him.
Szukam arcymistrza kręgu ognia.
Chodzi ci o Corristo? Czego od niego chcesz?
Mam list dla arcymistrza.
Jesteś posłańcem z zewnętrznego świata?
Tak. Jakiś mag dał mi to pismo, zanim zrzucono mnie na
We've
dół.
been carrying this
Pokaż
thing
to
forever.
pismo.
Now guys, there are a couple of ways you can approach this quest. Well, quest, it's not in the quest log, but it is essentially a quest. Oh boy, there's 3 different ways you can resolve this. It's actually quite complex. And first of all, let's refuse to give the letter to Milton, and you're gonna enter the wrong branch, essentially.
Najpierw chcę dostać moją nagrodę.
Corristo każe Torresowi wydać ci nagrodę, jak tylko obejrzy ten list. Jestem sługą Innosa. Nigdy nie kłamię. A teraz daj mi ten list.
That is a very badass thing to say. I'm a servant of Enos, I never lie, give me the list. You know what? That would work for me, but let's now stick to not trusting Milton.
Wolałbym oddać ten list Torresowi.
Nie dasz się przekonać, co?
Nie. Najpierw chcę zobaczyć moją nagrodę.
Cóż, jeśli tego sobie życzysz, zaczekaj tutaj.
Oh no. As a punishment, we have to wait. If you give Milton the letter, he will eagerly run there to Corristo and then run back to you. But since you don't trust him as a punishment, he's gonna walk really slowly. Oh my goodness gracious. You know what? We kind of deserve that. I like Milton, and it hurts to be this mistrustful of him. Then again, we've only just met. Buy us a dinner first, Milton.
Corristo nie był zachwycony brakiem szacunku, jaki okazałeś sługom Innosa. Ale powiedział, że możesz iść do Torresa i odebrać zwyczajową nagrodę posłańców.
And guys, this idea of
Do zobaczenia!
being a delivery boy for magicians is even more expanded in Gothic 2, and you can be the worst delivery boy in the entire world. Okay, I would like to just pick a save here. So, something I want to show you is now you have a choice after refusing to deliver it to Milton, if you want to break the seal or not. Let's say we break the seal, refuse to give it to Milton, and give it to Torres directly.
Mam dla ciebie list, ale najpierw chcę dostać swoją nagrodę.
Dlaczego nie porozmawiasz z Miltenem?
Już to zrobiłem.
Rozumiem. Mam tu twoją nagrodę. Pokaż mi list. Teraz.
Oto on.
Pieczęć została złamana.
Cóż, wypadki się zdarzają.
Jako zapłatę dostaniesz napój uzdrawiający. Ciesz się. Posłańcy, którzy przynoszą otwarte listy, zwykle nie dostają nic.
Okay, guys, all we got was this potion. One of the two we have. It's the best healing one, but still, and 100 experience points. Yeah, I don't recommend doing this. Now, let's say we don't give it to Milton, but we at least don't break the seal.
Mam dla ciebie list.
200
ale najpierw
experience
chcę
points,
dostać
see?
swoją nagrodę.
But let's see what we
Dlaczego
get.
nie porozmawiasz z Miltenem?
Już to zrobiłem.
Rozumiem.
Oto on.
W nagrodę otrzymasz pierścień siły. To niezwykle rzadki artefakt. Z pewnością bardzo ci się przyda. A teraz idź stąd.
Okay, so what we got is another Ring of Power. And that means, if we combine them, we have 20 strength. We can even carry crude swords now. That is a lot. But guys, trust me, it gets even better if you deliver it to Milton. And I want to show you something. It doesn't actually matter if you break the seal or not, if you give it to Milton. So, let's go through it again. Venerable Master, your last missive was received with great anxiety. We have conferred upon the matter and are sending you our reply in this letter. The Brotherhood is dangerous. It endangers the further success of our trade agreement, which in turn endangers the king, the entirety of the realm, and your own life. Therefore, you should dispatch souls to determine, scouts, what guards and what knowledge their magic powers are derived from. Once you have discovered this, we will inform the priests of your findings in the hopes of putting an end to the whole affair through combined efforts. At this very moment, the scholars are studying the ancient books. We will report our findings to you at once, using the usual means of communication. May Enos protect us also. The Brotherhood is, according to fire magicians on the mainland or the rest of the island of Korinis, a problem.
Nie
What they
wolno ci
mean
przekroczyć.
by a problem is that Brotherhood is very close to figuring out what's up with the barrier and how to bring it down, even though no one takes them seriously, except for the fire magicians who take them very seriously. Now, fun fact, these guys don't correspond too often. This letter is addressed to fire magicians that's no longer been here even for years, as we're gonna find out.
Szukam arcymistrza kręgu ognia.
Chodzi ci o Koristo? Czego od niego chcesz?
And guys, it also needs to be said that the fire magicians supporting Gomez are supporting the king and the trade for the ore, and therefore the whole war effort with the orcs. So, if the barrier was to fall down, as is the mission of the Brotherhood, or even the new camp, then the trade for the ore would pretty much disappear and the war effort against the orcs will go to hell. So, it makes perfect sense that the fire magicians loyal to the king are cooperating with Gomez, who trades with the king despite hating him, right? I think this is so well crafted.
Mam list dla arcymistrza.
Jesteś posłańcem z zewnętrznego świata?
Tak. Jakiś mag dał mi to pismo, zanim zrzucono mnie na dół.
Pokaż to pismo.
Let's be a little bit mistrustful, don't worry, you're not gonna mess anything up.
Najpierw chcę dostać moją nagrodę.
Koristo
I
każe
just wanna hear
Torezowi
this cool line.
wydać ci nagrodę, jak tylko obejrzy ten list. Jestem sługą Innosa. Nigdy nie kłamię. A teraz daj mi ten list.
Okay, you make good case, Milton.
Oto i ono.
Look, 200 experience points already.
Ależ ten list zaadresowano do Xardasa.
Co w tym takiego niezwykłego?
Xardas już od dawna nie jest sługą Innosa. Opuścił nas wiele lat temu i zwrócił się w stronę czarnej magii. Mieszka w wieży w samym środku terytorium orków. Chyba całkowicie poświęcił się swoim
This
badaniom.
Zardas guy sounds badass.
Xardas próbuje na własną rękę dowiedzieć się, co poszło nie tak przy tworzeniu bariery. Zaczekaj tu na mnie. Niedługo wrócę.
Guys, in case you're new to the franchise and the game, Zardas is the poster boy of Gothic 3 that you see on Gothic 3's cover, with a more updated hairstyle than what we'll see in Gothic 1 and 2. But yeah, Zardas is probably the most
Koristo
interesting
jest
person
niezwykle
in the
uradowany.
world.
Powiedział, że możesz iść do Toreza i wybrać sobie nagrodę.
See, neither Milton nor Koristo care that the seal was broken.
Gdzie znajdę tego Toreza?
W ciągu dnia znajdziesz go pewnie przed świątynią.
And
Noc
I'm not
spędza
sure-
w środku, jak my wszyscy, ale tylko magom wolno wchodzić do świątyni, więc możesz z nim porozmawiać jedynie za dnia.
And I'm not sure if the seal being broken and they not giving a damn if you give it to
Do
Milton
zobaczenia!
is a bug, or if it's actually working as designed. So, Torres, I'm here for my reward. There we go.
Przysyła mnie Koristo. Przyniosłem mu list z zewnątrz i mam sobie wybrać nagrodę.
Wyświadczyłeś nam wielką przysługę i otrzymasz każdą nagrodę, jakiej zażądasz.
Look at the gratitude, and guys, just in case you wanted it, you can still get the Strength of Dexterity, but you have now extra choice. Ring of Strength. You can get Ring of Dexterity as well, to carry more powerful bows at this stage. Also, probably the most fun reward, 3 spell scrolls. Fireball, Chain Lightning, and Transform into Scavenger. I checked, yes, you actually get the scrolls written in this line over here. And the most important one, permanent upgrade. Guys, it's not really even a choice when we're facing that, unless you're really sure you just want to ignore the whole spell system, which I don't recommend because it's a lot of fun. Essence of the Spirit, maximum mana, +5. It's the only reasonable choice.
Chciałbym dostać ten napój.
Mądra decyzja.
See?
To najcenniejsze
Even he
z przedmiotów,
agrees.
które mogłeś wybrać. Wypij ten napój, a twoja siła znacznie wzrośnie.
Indeed. And I'm gonna show that to you in just a sec. I just realized we can still talk to Milton about a couple of things.
Opowiedz mi coś o magach ognia.
Krąg magów ognia czerpie swą moc z łaski Innosa. Bóg
Love
światła,
of Innos,
prawdy i sprawiedliwości roztacza nad nami swoją opiekę. Magowie są jego wybrańcami i pozostałych ludzi traktują w sposób należny wybrańcom. Przyjęcie do kręgu to najważniejszy moment w moim życiu. Opiekę nade mną roztoczył sam Koristo, który twierdzi, że wniosłem do naszej społeczności powiew świeżości. Od tej chwili cały mój czas poświęcam na ciągłe doskonalenie umiejętności magicznych. Mam nadzieję, że pewnego dnia zostanę przyjęty do wyższego kręgu.
Okay, that sounds like the best kind of life you can have inside the
Chciałbym
colony.
zostać uczniem maga, tak jak ty.
Look at the comfy
Koristo
robes.
wybrał mnie, bo oddałem szczególne usługi potężnym magnatom. Jeśli naprawdę chcesz zostać jego uczniem, musisz wykazać się czymś niezwykłym. No i oczywiście musisz najpierw zostać przyjęty do starego obozu. Koristo niechętnie patrzy na ludzi z innych osiedli.
Yeah, and probably you need to join the old camp to earn the achievement, the Apprentice of All the Mages. But later about that. That's
zobaczenia.
The most complicated achievement of the entire run. Now guys, Milton said originally that no one can enter this Sanctuary of the Magicians, but he's not stopping us because his name is green, so let's crack open a couple of chests. So, first of all, left, left, triple right, left, double right. Inside, we're gonna have some books I didn't want to buy off Torres, mana potions, some delicious wine, lots and lots of ore, and look, Secrets of Magic, a gift from the gods. Guys, we're gonna read so many books on magic in today's episode, and actually, let me light a torch for you. Then, right, right, quadruple left, double right. Yep, mana potions, wine, ore, and books on magic. I see a pattern here, but I love this. They actually put some loot with great care to these. Ooh, this one. This is right, double left, right, left, triple right? Yes, okay, cool. There we go. True power. Okay, excellent. Now, I also want to show you what's elsewhere. I think after delivering the letter, they're not gonna shout at us if we appear up here, right? Oh, that's right. There's Drago over here. Nothing to say to us. There's Koristo over here. Is he at least gonna throw us out?
Co ty tu robisz?
Oh,
Nie masz tu czego szukać. Precz.
that's
Pozwól
cool.
mi
At least something. By the way, guys, in case you're curious, this is the first book stand we found. There's nothing in book stands in Gothic 1. Something they addressed in the sequel, but alas, here not so much. And something I hope they'll definitely address in the Gothic remake. My god, it's around the corner. I'm so excited. Okay, so if you enter here, however, Damarok
Nie masz tu czego
will throw
szukać.
you out of the laboratory, but there's nothing to steal here anyway. So there was an alchemy table, which is really cool, the remnant of the alchemy crafting system that was supposed to be in the game. Anywho, guys, I want to show you something. We received that potion of mana. If we drink it, look, our mana pool will increase by 5 to 12. Now, despite us not having 10 mana, just the capacity for 10 mana, this means we can already equip the Scroll of Telekinesis, and if we try to cast it, we will essentially fail because we don't have the 10 as a starting point. But if you just summon the magic, and again, you can absolutely do this that I showed around. You can scroll through all the equipped scrolls, melee ranged weapons. Let's choose Telekinesis. This, my friends, in the console versions that are not really, I presume, gonna be moddable, is your item detector. If you run around with the Scroll of Telekinesis equipped and the spell ready to be cast, you will notice an ore nugget. And you can run around the world collecting difficult to spot goodies like this. See? It can lock on to all sorts of them. One other thing I want to show you is you can use a glitch to pick them up from the distance, and this is a bit more tricky but works also on Switch version with the controller. Summon Telekinesis, look at an ore nugget. Now press the weapon hotkey again to unsummon Telekinesis, but keep action key pressed. So let me do this. And whilst we have the action key pressed, we are locked onto the ore nugget. If we let go, we need to do this again. Summon Telekinesis, unsummon, but press and hold action. And now if you tap forwards, you've picked up an ore nugget from the distance. And this is how we'll be picking up certain items in the game that are glitched in inaccessible places. Some of them are placed in certain places to be used telekinesis on, whereas others are placed somewhere where they're not supposed to be. They were in a rush to finish it, so we're gonna address this accordingly. Now there is a locked door that we are gonna uncover the Ore Baron's secret behind towards the end of the game. Okay, you'll need to be patient. But yeah, there are some ore nuggets here leading into what I think was originally supposed to be a trap for thieves. Yeah. But anywho, let me show you the other parts of the fortifications. So, yeah, there is just a solitary wall with no access to this tower over here. I would rather not jump down from it, because we can just die instantly, and that would make me very sad. So instead, keeping my promise of climbing every single ladder in the game... Ooh, on our way there, let's check this place. This is where the old Camp Castle elite smokes their meat, presumably. Look at that functional chimney, hanging foodstuffs. This is a ladder of sorts. I think that's a pretty cool detail. It doesn't play any role in Gothic 1, okay? Now, using another ladder, we should reach a broken down section of the castle. So yeah, the fortifications still stand, but you can tell that something happened here. This was a wooden tunnel leading from this tower over to the Gatehouse, but the whole thing has collapsed completely, as you can see. They have since repurposed this as a bit of an archery range of sorts. If you want, you can shoot around. Let me do that just for fun. But you cannot retrieve an arrow after you fire it, which is a bit of a shame. In Gothic 2, you can occasionally, if they are not fired but fall down from your hands, that can happen. Okay. So, we've seen there is a door there, but it seems we'll have to access this in a different way. This is the Gatehouse with Torres and his 2 guards. But this piece of wall over here, because of a barrel, is really easily accessible. And I would like to first start exploring the Gatehouse over here. So, first of all, we'll need to climb up before we can go down. And now, if you're playing on consoles especially, you'll need to be a little bit careful, because the guard inside is gonna turn hostile when he sees you. But you can sneak around if you spend the turn learning points to do that. So let me, I guess, simulate that on PC. Let's pretend that's what's happening. I think...
Hey, czemu się tak skradasz?
Well, that is a bit awkward. But on PC, he will not attack you unless you touch the winch and close the entry gate. The winch actually works, which is pretty cool. You know what, at this point, let me show you one of the best views in the colony, but not the best, not by far, but it's a little tease of what that can look like. We are in the Gatehouse tower. The camera is a bit odd here, Nameless is disappearing from certain angles, but we have a view of the courtyard. We want to go there, to the highest tower, but that's gonna take a while. We'll need to set up an interview with Gomez before we can do that. And yeah, we can admire the outer ring and the surrounding area, especially with the extended viewing distance. Well, extended. I have it ramped up on maximum as per the original Gothic 1 settings, but on consoles you'll probably see even further with DirectX 11 render and so on. Okay, you can also take a look behind these grated windows over here if you're so inclined. Okay, but let's keep going through this wooden tunnel. We've seen it from the outside. And this leads into my favorite areas of the castle. This cozy place with 3 neatly tucked beds, warm light of torches, a large comfy table with stools, and 2 chests. This is pretty cool. My favorite place for some reason. So, right, left, right, I think, for this one. Lots of ore, food, crossbow bolts. Always happy to see them. And now the opposite, left, right, left. Yep, just some more ore, razors. Guys, we'll be carrying so many razors. No one's gonna shave in the colony anymore, unless the king imports more of them to this place. So this room is a bit of a dead end. I wonder if would guards sleep here? Maybe the two next to Thoros and this fella over here? Now, if we go one level deeper, we are gonna find ourselves above the shooting range, which is pretty neat, I think. We need to walk through this fortification that we were unable to climb. And see, there we are, above the 3 targets. This whole section collapsed. I really am curious what it was once upon a time. Okay, so yeah, that's essentially it. Now, I think the fastest way would be to... Oh, please don't die. Oh, God. I would like to start robbing the barracks. Remember, I want these dots to disappear. I want all those delicious chests inside, so I think... you know what? Let's start with the upper floor. I think that's even safer. Let's use the ladder in the gatehouse. Let's go up, and you can choose the bottom floor or the upper floor to reach the barracks through 2 different corridors. And I'm gonna make a save here, because there are lots of chests, and I don't want to mess it up, and occasionally the guards can turn hostile. So, the good thing is we don't need to sneak around here, I think. So left, right, left, left. And all of these, with the exception of one, are filled with not particularly interesting loot, but all that junk and ore adds up eventually. Right, left, right. Excellent. Then it should be right, left, right. Okay. And I think the way I've written these down is right, left. Yes. Whew. Okay, glad I remembered. Then moving on to the 5th one is gonna be right and triple left. Right, triple left. Excellent. And now it's gonna be all right, I think. Excellent. This was the 6th chest so far. Let's move on to 7. But through this corridor, guys, I am gonna sneak. Because occasionally, the guards detect you touching the doors and they can go for their crossbows and instantly kill you. Which has had a friendly chat with Cutter. I don't want him to start slaughtering us immediately. So I think this should be chest number 7, which should be triple right, once left. Ooh, okay. My memory still serves me. Not a particularly exciting loot there, but like I said, it all adds up if you have the patience for it. And there's just something about being rich in RPGs, you know? Even sacrificing some power for riches, because it then creates a more horizontal progression where you don't really see numbers go up, but you have more tools and resources at your disposal, which I think is such a fun way to approach problems. Excellent. And I think this was 7, 8, 9, and was this 10? Or is it... Okay, I think I lost... Wait, there's 3 more, so this must be 10, and this should be... Oh, thank God. Okay. Triple right, once left. Then once left and triple right. Nice. Haven't broken a lockpick yet. This is exciting. Let's see how much of a streak we can have without breaking a single one. If using Duolingo, you know what I'm talking about. Okay, so left, right. Excellent. That's most of the chests gone. Let's now sneak onto the lower floor. At least until we enter the other upstairs room, which we already robbed clean. In the meantime, I'm gonna scroll my notes down somewhat. Okay. Now through here we can just rush past. But I would like to, the moment we touch this door, do it sneaking-wise. And you know what? I'm gonna speed up the time somewhat. This looks hilarious. And guess who's there? That's our friend Bullet who punched us into the face. Guys, please do not talk to Bullet now. Don't worry. We'll have our revenge. There's an achievement associated with it, I know. Is it gonna mind us touching the door? I don't know. Okay. Just in case on... Oh my God, he went for his crossbow. Let's reload now, and he might sit on that chair differently. Oh yeah. Let's be quick. Oh no, he's already shooting. Okay, bullet is a problem. Unless we time this just right. He has his crossbow out. I mean, honestly, we can maybe... Nah, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna be smart about this. Since Bullet is on the watch, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go into the Gatehouse and I'm gonna go one floor down and approach the room like that. See? There's always a way in Gothic. Oh, Bullet. Gosh darn it, you're even more annoying than I remembered you to be. Occasionally he sits with his back turned, and then it's fine if you sneak to the door. Okay, and let's approach the room like this, I think. That's gonna be for the best. Now, if I only remembered what I meant via those chests... Okay, I think I started here. This should be left, left, right, left. Oh, excellent. Okay, okay. We still haven't broken a lockpick, guys. This is a monumental moment. Then left, triple, right. It would be funny if I broke a lockpick at that exact point. Oh, guys, if you're gonna get just one chest out of the entire barracks, make sure it's this one, because this one has another +3 strength potion and a really cool book. So, this one also has the combination to reflect that. Okay. There we go, another potion of strength, and the Battle of Varant Volume 1. This is another one of those books we're gonna get now, but not read today until we get Volume 2. And I think I should tackle these chests in the opposite order that I've written them in, right? Oh, that was left? Triple right? Oh, no. Okay, no, that's fine then. Then right, left, right, right. Excellent. Why am I making things so unnecessarily complicated for myself? No, my notes still stand. Okay. Now left, right, right, left. Left, right, right, left. Okay. And then right, left, left, right. So the opposite of the previous chest. Right, left, left, right. Okay. My god, we have so many razors. Like I said, no one in the entire colony is gonna shave ever again. Now, I think I would like to save the game here. And let's see if Cutter and Bullet will be hostile. Cutter is fine, good. Bullet, on the other hand... No, he's fine, he's chilling. Excellent, guys. Also, there is a corridor over here which leads to the Smithy, which we've already explored. You need to go through... Oh my god, what was that? 3 sets of doors. I just wanted to show you where this goes. Okay. Oh, and that reminds me... We have 7 swords to forge, so let me forge them, and I'm gonna show you the dungeons, okay? My god, there's so much to explore. I love this handcrafted world. To be fair, the old camp is the single most well thought out, elaborate place in the entire game. The other camps might actually underwhelm you somewhat compared to the old camp, but that doesn't mean there is no wow effect to them as well, okay? Okay, that should be 7 swords by my count. Let's cool them down. Excellent. And again, the trick works. Whenever you want to use the forge and it's occupied, just go for your weapon. This will work only whilst the NPCs are not friendly to you, so neutral or orange and angry, okay? And we're pretty much neutral with everyone, but Diego, Mordrag, Milton, yeah. Okay, but let's not talk to Bullet yet. We're not strong enough, even with these potions and even the weapon. He's a master of one-handed weapons. He's actually a good warrior, just like Diego told us at the beginning of the game. Nevertheless, guys, where I'm taking you now are the dungeons. To the left over here is this very awkward dead-end tunnel, but I forgot a skeleton here, one of the prisoners back when King controlled this place, no doubt. And over here is what used to be a castle well. Well, not anymore. And going through its broken wall, we can also touch the switch over here. It will just close this grate as an added measure of protection, I guess. There is a guard guarding locked doors that not even this guard has a key to, which is a bit funny. Not sure what he's guarded, since they're empty. This guard is probably a leftover from early stages of the game. But you can see with the VOP locator enabled, there are some goodies behind the grate over there. This, my friends, is a room that's attached to the marketplace in the outer ring, the tunnel to which I showed you briefly in that episode. It's connected with the dungeon in a way, which is really cool, almost like it was supposed to be an escape route or something like that in case you ever get locked up, if they had such an elaborate stealth system, along with hiding in barrels, right? Okay, excellent. And now...
Kogo my tu mamy? Czy to nie ta ofiara, którą ochrzciłem wcześniej? Czego chcesz? Przyszedłeś po repetę?
Let's just not deal with Bullet right now, okay? I was hoping to save this conversation for later, but you know what? That's fine. I think this serves to demonstrate the power curve. Alrighty, guys. Oh yeah, now that we have more stuff and... Oh yeah, for this to work, you need to first open Torres's inventory once, sell him some weapons that he'll equip, and then, look at this,
Poszukuję magicznych ksiąg.
a magical rune he had equipped becomes available. It's just a firebolt rune. Guys, if you're convinced you want to join the fire magicians, don't get this rune because you're gonna get it for free, and it's quite expensive. But since I am not gonna join the fire magicians, I'm gonna get it now as part of a magical collection. And look, 6 crude swords, and the rune is ours, which is awesome. And let me explain something about the runes. If you try to equip it, the problem isn't mana like it was with the Scroll of Telekinesis before we upgraded it. The problem is Circle 1 in the description of this item. So you're short of 1 magic spell levels, should have been circles, but okay, to use this item. When you look into your character sheet, all you will see is magic no, which is a bummer. They could have made it like 0 out of 6 or something to really show you how many circles there are. On the other hand, you could see this as keeping the mystery going. You know, you might feel, oh, we reached the 4th circle when we joined the Brotherhood. Surely this is the pinnacle of magic. And then in a different playthrough, your friend will tell you, oh no, I made it to the 5th one. And then another guy, the guy no one ever talks to, but he knows Gothic really well, I made it to 6th circle, but no one believes him. Guys, yes, there are indeed 6 circles of magic, which the game doesn't tell you in advance, which is, I think maybe that's fine. But it's always going to do math how many you're missing from your current one, so from 0 to 1 we're missing 1, and you're not going to be able to equip it, okay? The cool thing is, the mana cost is 1, so casting is going to cost just 1 point of mana, which is insane, and it's going to deal 30 fire damage. Almost no one has fire protection, okay? So this is an incredibly powerful spell very early on, but the earliest you're gonna properly start slinging spells is if you join the Brotherhood, not the fire magicians, okay guys? So that's all I wanted to do in the castle today, but the episode isn't over because we now want to grow in power substantially for the first time. So, Diego, teach us how to
Możesz mnie czegoś
wield bows. And crossbows, but I figure you're more of a bow person. And we're gonna do this via 6 entire skill points. There's a plan, there's a rhyme and reason for this. So dexterity 6, we'll even get an approval.
Umiesz teraz sprawniej posługiwać się łukiem i kuszą. Wróć niedługo. Musisz się jeszcze wiele nauczyć. W dzisiejszych czasach.
Excellent, guys. Now, this might seem a bit odd. Why didn't I put just 1 extra skill point to reach 20? Trust me, we want to spend the 20 and 4 in a different way. We now have dexterity 19, not enough to carry a longbow, but that's fine since we don't have a longbow, but enough to carry the field bow, the best next thing, 28 range damage, and again, just like with fire damage, almost no one has arrow protection, okay? So this is gonna be quite powerful, I'm gonna demonstrate it in today's episode. Then, we want to talk to Scatty next to the arena, and we finally, after essentially quarter of the game, of this Let's Play series at least, we want to learn how to wield a one-handed weapon properly. And for that, I'm even gonna enter the arena and show you where we are now and where we will be after learning it. I hope all 3 fighters... Oh, thank god, the arena is free. If there's just one of these guys practicing inside the arena, you cannot practice next to them or they get hostile. It's really stupid. But anyway, let me show you the moveset. So we can do forward lunge, which closes the gap between us and the enemy, but we cannot combo after. You can combo these side hits endlessly, and from each of them, even go for a forward attack. Now, you can also block, and you can also do a charging attack. And just notice how slow the weapon drawing animation is when standing still. It takes a while. And most importantly, the Nameless holds it in 2 hands, right? So, let's explain the advantages of holding a light weapon in just one hand.
Zajmujesz się również szkoleniem wojowników?
Tak, ale nie za darmo. Jak chcesz, żebym cię czegoś nauczył, musisz zapłacić.
Now, whilst you're guildless, guys, there's one other person inside the colony who can teach you this, and that's Cord in the new camp. However, Cord will only ask for 30 ore rather than 50. He's a bit cheaper. Now, 20 ore nuggets is not a whole lot of difference and definitely not worth it to make a journey there just for that. And in both of these guys, it's gonna cost 10 skill points. So, let's learn from Scatty and let's maybe learn Mastery later on from Cord.
Chciałbym nauczyć się walki jednoręcznym orężem.
Mądra decyzja. Jednak zanim poznasz bardziej zaawansowane techniki, powinieneś nauczyć się prawidłowo trzymać oręż.
Listen closely, guys.
Początkujący często łapią zwykły miecz obydwoma rękami. Radziłbym ci się do tego nie przyzwyczajać.
You hit the nail on the head
to
there.
fatalny nawyk. Trzymaj broń jedną ręką, ostrzem do góry i zacznij nią machać. Musisz się nauczyć, jak zgrać twoje ruchy z bezwładnością oręża. Dzięki temu twoje ataki będą szybsze i bardziej zaskakujące. Zapamiętaj sobie dobrze, co ci powiedziałem, a twój styl walki stanie się o wiele bardziej elegancki i skuteczny. A, i jeszcze coś.
Critical
Niektóre
hits.
ciosy powodują większe obrażenia niż zwykle. Oczywiście jako początkujący masz raczej niewielkie szanse na zadanie krytycznego uderzenia. Ale to się zmieni w miarę czynienia przez ciebie postępów.
Excellent. So guys, let me show you what just happened, and it's one of the most mind-blowing experiences I had as a kid playing video games. Looking at the character sheet, we now see we are one-handed sword trained, and the 0% at the right column changed to 5. These are the critical hits that Scary mentioned. So if you're untrained, you're never gonna land a critical hit. If you're trained, there's a 5% chance. Guys, it's not much, and honestly, when it comes to melee weapons, critical hits, you're not even gonna notice you landed a critical hit unless you're using the mods I am for showing the damage pop-ups. That's how I know I landed a critical hit, but oftentimes you're not even gonna notice. They're more of an afterthought when it comes to melee weapons in Gothic 2, but they're the main focus of the sequel then. We'll get there eventually, guys. They are, however, important for ranged weapons, more on that later. But listening to what Scary said, he first said, hold the weapon upwards and in one hand.
Trzymaj broń jedną ręką, ostrzem do góry i zacznij nią machać.
And that's what the Nameless now does. Furthermore, the drawing animation is so much faster than it was before. This is not a coincidence, guys. Furthermore, look at the side hits. We can very quickly chain them together.
Musisz się nauczyć, jak zgrać twoje ruchy z bezwładnością oręża. Dzięki temu twoje ataki będą szybsze i bardziej zaskakujące.
And we can also have a forward combo. 1, 2, 3, 4. Furthermore, you can chain from the forward strike into side hit and then forward. So you can now freely combine side hits and the first part of the forward combo. This is huge. From the second hit of the forward combo or even the third hit of the forward combo, you can't really chain it. You can in Gothic 2 later on, but not in Gothic 1, okay? Now, forward combos, honestly, guys, don't get into a habit of using them. The safest way is to just use the forward hit and then side hits, unless you're absolutely sure you know what you're doing, because they leave you open for long. They are easy to follow up with a block, but this is worthless for animals. On the PC version, you can on consoles block animals, at least on Switch. I still need to test, as I said at the beginning of the video, the PlayStation 5 version. Okay, guys? So, this is huge. And the progression doesn't end there. I would now like to, show you what happens if you try to master the weapons straight ahead. So, same lines, but now we see one-handed sword level, 150 ore and 20 skill points. Yeah, we don't have the skill points for this.
Naucz mnie sprawniej posługiwać się jednoręczną bronią.
Wróć, jak zdobędziesz trochę doświadczenia.
Which is fair. But honestly, guys, this is a huge difference. If you talk to the mercenary in the new camp, you can master these for just 50 ore nuggets. You're gonna save 100. I think that is a large difference. So anywho, guys, I think this is also a good moment to drink the 2 strength potions. Excellent. And with the Ring of Power, even without it, we have 16 strength and can carry this blade. This is important, so we now have flexibility and are not dependent on the ring. But with it, we have 21 strength and 33 points of damage weapon. That all adds up, minus the melee defense of the creature or person we're fighting, okay? So this is huge. We also have a decent bow now, but we don't know how to use it yet, and I would like to show that to you. I guess I could have done that in the old camp archery range, the collapsed one, but honestly, nah, it's fine. It's better to do it next to a teacher, next to Sensei Cavalorn. I like Cavalorn. He's gonna be even a cooler character in the sequel. So, he's just living his peaceful life in a hut somewhere, not really wanting to deal with anyone or anything. You know, he's not a loyal Gomez fanatic like many other guards. Okay, and eventually his hut is gonna be a safe haven for people, which is pretty cool. Guys, I am giddy with excitement that we are powering ourselves up finally after hoarding all those 30 skill points for some stealth-related achievements. So let me just... Oh, the journey is long, but you know what? Let's speed it up somewhat. Remember how much we struggled with the two goblins over here? Oh, and when it's evening, Cavalorn retreats inside his hut. Interesting. So, something I want to show you now. With the bow untrained... Oh, come on, Cavalorn. Notice the nameless stance. When he aims, the position of his arm is like this. You're not gonna have a very good grip holding it like this. And guys, this isn't bad animation work. This is intentional. Nameless doesn't know how to wield the bow. Look, the arrow is all misaligned. It's a mess. And this is the speed with which he fires. It's not particularly good, is it? Even the time it takes to actually equip it and unequip it, it's not particularly good. And if we look at the character sheet, we see bow unskilled 0% chance. Now let's see what happens if for 10 skill points Cavalorn teaches us how to use a bow properly. Oh, but we need to wait for him to finish the sip of his drink. Fair enough.
Możesz mnie nauczyć czegoś o myślistwie?
To zależy tylko od tego, co chciałbyś wiedzieć.
Now Cavalorn is an absolute sweetheart, like I said before. He just doesn't want any money for this. You just need to spend your skill points.
Możesz mnie nauczyć, jak sprawniej posługiwać się łukiem?
Jako początkujący powinieneś zawsze pamiętać, że skuteczność strzelania z łuku zależy przede wszystkim od przyjętej postawy.
Exactly.
Rozstaw stopy szeroko, ramiona unieś na tę samą wysokość, wstrzymaj oddech i strzelaj. Jeśli uda ci się trafić w szczególnie wrażliwe punkty ciała ofiary, nie będzie potrzeby oddawania drugiego strzału. Oczywiście początkujący strzelcy mogą tylko pomarzyć o trafieniu w czuły punkt, ale jeśli zastosujesz się do moich wskazówek, możesz liczyć na więcej trafień w cel.
So, seeing as how we pathetically wielded the bow before, Cavalorn says it's all about the posture with you. Let me show you the line when...
nauczyć czegoś o myślistwie?
To zależy tylko od...
We cannot learn the mastery, but just to show you that Cavalorn can teach it to you for 20 skill points. Don't worry, as a jack of all trades, I promise we're gonna get there eventually.
Nie mogę cię niczego nauczyć. Brak ci doświadczenia.
His voice changed somewhat to a more generic line, but still from the same voice actor. So anyway, now, if we look at the character sheet, our bow says trained, and look at it, 15% chance of a critical hit. This is the huge advantage of ranged weapons. Not only are there many people and animals defenseless against ranged damage, but also your chances of landing criticals are huge. As a master, it will be increased to 30, which is insane. Almost every third shot is gonna deal... Actually, I don't know if critical hit in Gothic 1 means double damage or if it just ignores defense, but one of these things. So let me save the game here, because I'm about to waste some weapons, and let's compare Nameless's pose. So first of all, the speed with which he throws it is much faster. Now this posture is already so much better. So he aims, he has it tilted to the side, and look at this speed, guys. This isn't quite twice as fast, but it is significantly faster. And the fact that we have a 15% chance of dealing critical hit, if you find an enemy, especially in a place where they cannot reach you, they are absolutely screwed, okay? So just wanted to show you this, and this is our first step towards the jack of all trades. We are now trained with one-handed weapon, with bow, we know how to sneak around, this is excellent. Let's now do some progress for the trophy hunting achievement, because we need to spend 4 learning points, or skill points, for the remaining trophies. And rather than going to Drax and Redford, we have someone much closer, but I want to show you something first. There is a wolf over here, a prime target for a newly acquired archery skill. Okay, I can't tell if the first hit was a critical or not, because we dealt a lot of damage. And since we don't know how to extract trophies, look, we try to interact with the wolf's body, nothing. There is another wolf to the side, and I want to make an example of him. Let's talk to Aidan over here, because just like Drax, he can teach us the exact same trophy skills.
Co tu robisz?
Jestem myśliwym. Utrzymuję się ze sprzedaży skór i kłów zabitych zwierząt.
Let's check the journal entry. If that's really true, tutor outside the camps, Aidan, a hunter living on the way between the old and the new camp, can teach me how to get animals. Same entry as the Drax, essentially. Oh, we have some new ones. Torres can show me how to increase my mana during the daytime. He's in the courtyard. That's true. And then Merchant, this will be about Skip and Torres. Torres sells spell scrolls and runes during the day. He stays in the courtyard. Gotcha.
Da się z tego wyżyć?
Jeśli potrafi się zręcznie oporządzać zwierzynę, tak, i to całkiem nieźle.
Chciałbym się nauczyć oprawiać zwierzynę.
A co chcesz wiedzieć?
Remember how we complained to Drax about his high prices? Aidan has the same. This is universal. These are objective prices in an objective economy in Gothic 1. So first of all, if you're gonna get just something, first are the best skill here.
Jak mogę zdobyć skóry upolowanej zwierzyny?
Zaczynaj skurowanie od zadu, przesuwając się stopniowo ku głowie. Spróbuj kilka razy. To nie jest takie trudne, a futra potrafią być bardzo cenne. Futra wilków i cieniostworów można wykorzystać do szycia odzieży. Badając futro zabitego zwierza, łatwo ocenisz, czy nadaje się do dalszego wykorzystania.
The game will check it for you, and if you check a beast's corpse, either a loot interface will open or not, is how this works essentially. Now, another great skill, skin reptiles, although not
Na
as
co
great,
powinienem zwrócić uwagę, zdzierając skórę z gadów?
but in the late
Skóry
game valuable.
topielców i bagiennych węży
Swamp
są
sharks.
szczególnie cenne.
Their skins
Jeśli
are worth
przetniesz
hundreds
skórę na
each, it's
bokach,
insane.
powinna sama odejść od mięsa. Myślę, że od tej pory poradzisz już sobie ze skórowaniem gadów.
Okay, and now teeth and claws.
Pokaż mi, jak zdobyć pazury upolowanej zwierzyny.
Prawdę mówiąc, to dziecinny proste. Trzeba tylko znać odpowiednią metodę. Wygnij pazury do przodu, nigdy do tyłu i pod żadnym pozorem nie próbuj ich wyciągać. Najlepiej pozyskiwać pazury jaszczurów. Od tej pory będziesz wiedział, które zwierzęta dostarczają dobrych pazurów.
Okay, and the final one?
Jak mogę zdobyć kły upolowanej zwierzyny?
Przede wszystkim musisz uważać, żeby kły nie popękały podczas wyciągania. W tym celu wbij nóż w pobliżu środka zęba i delikatnie go podważaj. Warto zabierać kły wilków, cieniostworów i zębaczy.
I love that they voiced the lines telling you exactly what types of monsters are eligible for this, but in case you ever forget or are new to the game and don't know these beasts, you can check the journal entry exploitation of the prey, and we now have the knowledge how to remove mandibles from Gorna Drak in the old mine from minecrawlers, but knowledge on the removal of skins, wolf, orc dog, shadow beast, troll. Wargs are not yet in Gothic 1, they are only orc dogs. Then, knowledge on skinning, lurker and swamp shark. Lurker skins are but swamp shark skins is where it's at. Knowledge on the removal of claws, lizard, snapper, lurker, biter, razor. Yeah, there is a monster called Razor here, and they hunt in packs. Then knowledge on the removal of teeth, wolf, orc dog, snapper, biter, bloodhounds. Glad there I mentioned shadow beast. Now guys, you should not yet see the trophy hunting achievement pop up, because there are many more trophies to get. We'll need to learn how to remove not just the mandibles, but armor plates from stronger minecrawlers. We'll need to know how to remove fire tongues and troll teeth, actually we technically already know, but also swamp shark teeth, and there's just so much more to learn, even bloodfly stingers, which we don't know how to remove yet, okay? But we've made huge progress for said achievement, and now I want to show this to you how it works in practice. So, remember, on our way here, we killed a wolf. That was before we learned these trophy skills. Now that we learned the trophy skills, let's kill this wolf. Oh, so we definitely landed a critical before. Whew. Okay, half a health remaining. Guys, I want to remind you, wolves are still level 9, we are level 4, okay? They're powerful beasts, but now we can loot them. There's a skin and teeth. If we have the VOB locator on, this will be marked as an unlooted body as well. Okay, so wolf skin and 2 teeth. And this is gonna add up money-wise. We spent 4 skill points and 300 ore to learn this, but it's gonna be paid back. But you'll notice that no such icon is above the wolf whom we killed before we knew how to exploit the prey. So if I try to loot the body now, doesn't work. So that means that only once you learn how to take the trophies, then each kill you or another NPC get on an animal, that's when you'll be able to loot them. You cannot retroactively revisit dead corpses, but that's fine. So guys, what I recommend is somehow bypassing the wolf, learn it, and then come and kill him and get those trophies. So I rob myself of a skin and 2 teeth, but I think it's fine because it served to illustrate a very important point how this works. Now Aidan will attack you if you touch the chest on Switch version at least, so you might want to loot this later when you come back with the Scroll of Sleep, okay? Excellent. Now, I don't really want to go to the new camp or anything like that. What I do want to do is show you the battle sword in practice, because over here is a lizard. Now, lizards have a very high range defense. Well, 10 isn't very high, but compared to other monsters which have none, that is a bit of an obstacle. So let's instead melee these guys. They have 20, but we do so much more damage, okay? And we can extract claws. So we no longer need to be afraid of the big bad lizards. We can take them down, although the damage they deal to us is still quite high, okay? Now guys, I want to make it back to the Canopy Hut inside the old camp and read all the books we've bought and in some cases stolen today. On our way there, I would very much like to kill one additional wolf. Hopefully it will not shred us to pieces. But I want to show you one of the biggest advantages of ranged weapons in the game. And that's the cheese. You can, from a spot like this, start shooting at an animal, and they are usually not going to be able to get to you. So take advantage of this, guys. Gothic is a hard game. You need all the advantages you can get, okay? So this wolf is no longer a problem. These chests, despite not having a lock, are... I think on consoles they added the lock texture on them. So let me just check the combinations. This was right, right, left, right. Nothing to write home about. Will there at least be some arrows or something? Left, right, right, left. Yes, 10 arrows. I guess that's fair. That's exactly what I asked for. Some arrows, right? And that's it, guys. This should be familiar. We passed through here killing the bloodflies only on our way from the old mine. We're a significantly more powerful person than we were those 2 episodes back, okay? We are in fact so powerful that I think it's time to explore the other camps, because there's gonna be some fighting involved, unlike in the old camp, unless you choose to challenge the arena champions already, which honestly, guys, I don't recommend yet. We might be able to take on Kurgo with some difficulties, but patience, please. I also want to pace the difficulty of the game in a way that makes sense and makes for the most satisfying experience. So, we are now inside the old camp, and I would like to, since we have lots of stuff to sell... Oh, there's Bloodwind. Oh, he talked to us just around midnight when we were robbing everyone. That's why he's not talking to us now. Okay. But anyway, we left 20 ore nuggets with Graham over here. Okay, no, this isn't gonna cut it. Let's sell him some pans or... no, jugs. Excellent. Then, I think there's Fisk, Dexter, Mordrag, and Huno, whose inventories I want to revisit. So let's speed things up somewhat. Go to the marketplace. Notice how with the VOB locator on no chests are highlighted because we stole all of them. That's such a good feeling. Oh man. Okay, so show me your goods. 520. Let's check also with all merchants if they have some ammunition we have not yet purchased. No, Fisk doesn't. Not enough to sell the rusty two-hander to, which is such a bummer. We need to prioritize that. Anyway, here we can sell this. We can now, without any ring, carry the stronger bow. We don't need the weaker one. Unless you're a weapon collector and want to collect all weapons, which is fair. I do that in some games, not in Gothic, because it clutters the interface too much. Let's sell all the hunting trophies. Look at all these razors. They are 5 each. Pen is of higher value, so let's sell those. I want to keep just 1 pen. I'd like to imagine the Nameless carries a pen on him to be able to use them in fireplaces, you know? To fry the meat on the go. Okay, and 10 more, I guess we can make it with plates or tumblers, it doesn't really matter. So see, We're making so much money from selling all this junk, if you've the patience for it. Dexter, there you are, my man. You gave me your 50 or advance, but still, that's it. Oh yeah, something I want to talk about. Guys, if you really want to squeeze every single ore nugget out of the game, feel free to buy green novices, okay? It's gonna make a little bit more sense later on, because you pay 8 ore for 1, but you can sell them via a dialogue in the new camp for 10 later on. Just green novices. You can sell all the trucks, but green novices are the only ones where it financially makes some kind of sense, okay? So, we're approaching that 184. You know what? Keep your arrow. Okay, Dexter, now let's talk to Mordrak. He is in the very least gonna have some ore and ammunition, maybe? I really wish he would have proper merchant interface, you know, stuff he stole from the ore barons. But no. Although, important caveat, if you purchase all the arrows Mordrak has on him, later on when you're gonna be accompanying him to the new camp, he's not gonna use his bow, because he has no ammo for it, which I find a bit funny, I'll be honest. You know what, let's have him have 1 arrow, so he uses that for single shot from the longbow. Okay. And I think the only person that we could visit is Huno, although we purchase all the raw steel from his inventory. So I don't know. But you know what, let me use this as an opportunity to show you something cool. Smiths like Huno, and there are of course more throughout the game, the ones that have merchant interface, so not stone, but Huno, will be an endless source of raw steel. It will respawn in their hands because they want to interact with an object, so the game will spawn it in their inventory, so you can get an endless supply of raw steel from them and turn that into crude swords. Although I think we don't have anything more to sell, and we cannot sell him the rusty 200, so you know what, let's leave Huno as is. But just so you know, he'll always carry more raw steel, okay? So, going around Huno... Oh, this is what I wanted to show you in the previous episode. Yeah, the arena spectators. So like I said, there is a cut arena system in the game, something that was developed to a functional way in the Gothic sequel, the cancelled expansion pack to Gothic 1, that we also didn't get, and finally with Gothic Remake we will get an arena system. Oh, I cannot wait. But there are spectators of arena matches as a leftover of that. The arena matches do not happen, unfortunately. So anywho, let's roast all the raw meat we have, and then I want to check the time. Oh my god, we have way more than I thought. Where is all this coming from? Maybe we stole some raw, ungrilled meat from the chest? Oh, I sped it up as we were about to roast the final one. Let's check the time. We have 22:13. Okay, I think I should be able to make this. Here's what I want to do, just before we call it a night, after such a productive day. So, I want to read all the books we found today. They are pretty much all of them going to be exclusively on magic, with I think one exception. So first of all, Elementary Arcanum, the place of magic in the order of the worldly. Much research has taken place on magic and its relation to the elements. It is just to claim that magic represents the perfect element. It has the power to transform all the elements and to shape them, which means it is superior to them. So it's like the extra element you don't see or hear, but affect the other elements with. Each element, when viewed in its purest form, unearths a connection to magic. So it's like the fabric that connects them. Natural connections of this kind can only be found in very few places, and they are highly sought after, perhaps halls of Irdarath, you know. A Magus' ability to conjure up the element seemingly from nothing proves that the power of magic is the purest, greatest good in existence. That's exactly what a magician would say, of course. Secrets of Magic from Barthos of Lara. The magic is not inherent in the Magus himself, he is far more able to work it. The only skill he possesses is the ability to influence and guide the magic. A disciple of the art of magic must be able to use his spirit as a tool. His spirit serves as a vessel for the all-encompassing arcane power, to shape it, focus it, and finally release it into the world we know. During these moments of total concentration, the Magus spirit rises above our sphere. Is my spirit rising? No, not yet. And gazes upon the other side. The Magus himself is but a conductor and shaper of that power. The other side is the home of that power. You know what? Someone who does this maybe receive the powers of the Cro-Magnon. If you don't know what Cro-Magnon is, that's fine. Later on in the game I'm going to show you. It is a particularly mysterious book from a particularly mysterious stranger who seemed to have achieved enlightenment. A gift from the gods. I love how we have the word magic off-screen, off-center of the book to the side there. A bit of an odd formatting. But yeah, I'm running it on 2K resolution. 4K unfortunately cannot be recorded on my hardware for Gothic 1 for some reason. So, man has been trying to fathom the nature and origins of magic for centuries, but where should the search begin? How does one describe magic? It is the most conflicting power that has ever been known. It can kill, it can heal, it can create, it can destroy. Yeah, creation and entropy. What does such power look like? Where can a man find this invisible yet incredibly powerful force? I'd like to think you can at least sense or smell magic. Magic is what it is. It is the most marvelous and the most powerful gift the gods have ever given us. It is the divine gift presented to users and weavers of magic, a healing power that only a few chosen ones are able to control. Barthos of Laran. I get the feeling this Barthos of Laran is able to write a lot but say very little. Anyway, the full collection on the words of the gods. I talked about the Trinity of Gods in our Old Mine episode, now we're gonna learn more about them. So, hear the words of the gods, for it is their will that you shall hear them. Heed the teachings of the gods, for it is their will that you shall heed them. Honor the priests of the gods, for they are the chosen ones. Of course, this is written by a priest. Like any holy book, it comes from a position of power by the person who writes it. So, the word of Enos, and if it shall happen that you do not understand, do not despair at the words of the priests, for they are just when wise. For I am the rising sun, the light and the life, and all that is contrary to the sun is contrary to me, and shall be banished to the shadows forevermore. This actually reminds me of RRL history. In Slovakia, for the longest time, we were under the rule of Franks back in medieval times. So, ancestors to modern-day French, and they would essentially keep people here stupid via using Latin, and keeping sermons in churches in Latin, and keeping every written documentation in Latin, so that the Slovak population could not actually communicate via teachings, could not read or anything like that, and they were persecuting people with written Slovak language. It's really funny. And this really reminds me of that. Well, I said funny, it's not funny, but it's an interesting take where the fantasy is inspired by real history, and this was happening all over the world, of course. But the idea that priests are the ones you need to listen to, and if you do not understand them, do not despair, they know better than you. It's just, Anyway, the word of Adanos. Work and live, for the day was created so that men may work. Seek learning and knowledge so that you may pass it on, for it is for that purpose that you were created. But whosoever shall be listless and idle, and let's be honest, lazy, he shall be banished to the shadows forevermore. I will remember these words whenever I'll want to take a day off editing, that Adanos will get angry with me and I need to start working on the next video. The word of Belia, but whosoever shall do wrong and go against the will of the gods, Enos and Adanos, him I will punish, I will plague his body with pain, suffering and death, but his spirit shall join me in the shadows forevermore. They make it sound like afterlife is hell for everyone here. I hope that's not the case. I actually hope there is no afterlife in Gothic universe. Anyway, this was just the volume 1. Whew. Are you ready for this? Of the beginning of time, there was no night and no day, and no living thing moved across the land. Then Enos appeared, and his light shone upon the world. And Enos gave unto the world the gift of life, but no creature could live in the light of Enos, so he created the sun. But still the light was too bright. So Enos divided himself and thus created Belia. So Adanos is the youngest sibling, interesting. Now, men could be, so Enos divided himself again and created Adanos. Adanos brought men versatility, knowledge, curiosity and courage. Adanos sounds awesome. Enos was satisfied with what he had done. And he decided to leave mankind in the care of Adanos, and he rested. But Belia was consumed by envy, for the people did not pray to him but slept at night. Come on, not all people, surely. He grew angry and created a man to pray to him alone, but the man he created was like all other men. Belia became so furious that he killed the men and spoke, "If they will not worship me, then at least they shall fear me." And he created death and ended the lives of men. I don't understand this line of thinking. If they do not like me, they will hate me at least. Belia, grow up, come on. Now the third volume says, Enos gave mankind the power to hear him and speak to him. He gave mankind the power to perform great miracles, and he called them magic. It's funny because, as a kid, I was forced to go to the church by my Catholic mom and her mother, and people were talking about miracles. You know, that holy men, Jesus included, performed miracles, the most famous turning water into wine, and then fish and bread and so on. And I always thought, oh, that's kind of cool. And I was like sympathetic to the story. I was like, oh, that sounds like some really powerful magic. The looks I received and the shouting, how can I call this magic? Magic is from Satan, magic is heresy, these are miracles. I'm like, I don't see the difference. And I laugh when in a fantasy book like this, there's just these lines like, he gave mankind the power to perform great miracles, and he called them magic. I don't know, given my past, I find this very funny. Anyway, with this power, the people were able to design the world after their will. Enos gave them no limits, and thus men received a portion of the divine power of creation, but not all the people were equal, and this dissatisfied them. And that's how the caste of priests, the magicians, came to be. So, he took the power from the discontented. Enos raised the few who had shown him gratitude above the others. See, he doesn't care as long as you're loyal to him. These few were soon revered and feared, and the people called them priests. Magicians. But among them were many who soon became dissatisfied, and so it happened that they prayed to Adanos and forgot their origins. So, water magicians split from fire magicians, the League of Priests was divided, wars ensued. This is the only time in the entire Gothic universe this is mentioned, by the way, because they cooperate fairly well nowadays, but okay. And the faith in divine omnipotence soon became a myth, and so the priests were separated. Those who followed Adanos were called Magicians of the Circle of Water, while the priests of Enos became known as the Magicians of the Circle of Fire. In Gothic 1's game manual, it is actually mentioned that the fire magicians and water magicians right now inside the colony all used to be fire magicians at some point and split. And yet, in a book inside the game, it makes it sound like this happened centuries in the past. So there are some inconsistencies if you check the game manual of Gothic 1, even as it pertains to Zardas, the ex-magician of the Circle of Fire. Okay? So really interesting to dig through the past of the game's development. Now, a powerful art. Guess what, guys? This one's all about magic. So, do I have treats for you? A work for those instructed in the arcane art. A magician's ability to control the divine power grows. At first it appears like a small seed in a field. It must be tended or it will wither. But once the seed begins to grow, its splendor unfolds. It continues to grow with each passing day. The same applies to Receptive Magus. His power may be weak to begin with, but given time they will wax and thrive, unfolding a power whose limits are unforeseeable. To guide this power to the point of perfection is the sacred duty of every magus, for the seed sown by the gods is the greatest gift a mortal can receive. I'm amazed this book isn't written by Barthos of Laran at this point. Myrtana's poetry we read last time, Recipes Volume 1 and 2. The Battle of Varant I'm gonna hold off of reading until we have Volume 2. I did the same thing with the second and third Circle of Magic. I feel like we read a lot about magic, but let's finish today's library session with True Powers. True power, the sacred duty of the skillful. It is power that distinguishes a magus from his fellow men. Equipped with the ability to influence the divine power, he is a being independent of the laws of nature which apply to mortal men. You can tell this was written by a magician again. Once a magus, I'm willing to bet anything that the author of this book to this day yells at people to call mages magi, and to call a single mage a magus. Anyway, once a magus has reached a stage which enables him to rise above the limits of his existence, he can place himself on a higher plane than that in which mortal men can live. Coming back to Cro-Magnon, he can break through the boundaries of time and space, and not even death, the eve of existence, can stop him. And you know what's cool, guys? Regarding this True Power book, we're gonna meet someone just like that very briefly, and it's all gonna go wrong. And we're not really gonna learn much. But they promise to expand upon this idea in Gothic Remake. We'll see. Anyway, guys, let's check the time. Oh, we've been reading books for, I think, 2.5 in-game hours? That's not bad at all. So, I think, Nameless, you deserve to go to bed. We've drank all the permanent increasing potions, we have the best weaponry currently available to us. I don't think that was anything else, so here's what I'm gonna do, guys. I'm gonna sleep until the morning. And we're gonna set up day number 6 next to Baal Parves, because it's time we finally fulfilled promise to Dexter and go and get that recipe of the sect for the healing potions. There's nothing really telling you that now's the time to do it, it's just kind of my recommended way because we now know how to use bows, which will be useful in the Brotherhood. We are now very competent with a single-handed weapon, and boy do we have a powerful weapon equipped. We have decent protection, strength, dexterity, we know how to sneak, and we are loaded, baby, we are rich. This is, I think, an ideal place to leave the old camp for some time and explore what other different philosophies there are in the colony. So Balparves, I'll let you start the next episode, but now I need to pause, I need to say huge thanks to my amazing patrons, and then I need to dig deep into the PlayStation 5 version of Gothic 1 Classic and test all the achievements before I'll be back, probably in a month's time, with another episode. Blangoopel, Mick, Severin Drax, Enstickle, Katie Danger, Pooh the 2, Basic Briny, Bino, and Alex Clark. Thank you guys so much for being our loyal Winstons and for keeping the dungeon door open long enough for us to escape as the guards noticed their sudden absence of all their belongings in the barracks. Next, I would like to say big thanks to my caretaker Winstons, Karavetu, Renegade Ernie, Blanket Fox, Dig the Bee, PD92, and Akires. Thank you guys so much for your support of the channel, and also thank you for helping us improve our back-breaking posture into someone who can actually aim with a bow without falling apart. I would also like to give special thanks to my brave veteran Winstons, Andrea Paviglianiti, Alexander, and Richard Dearman. Thank you guys so much for your valiant support of the channel, and also thank you for finally teaching us how to wield one-handed weapon firmly in one hand. This unlocks a whole new world of possibilities when it comes to speed and flexibility and critical hits. And finally, I would like to give one very, very special thanks to my one and only fine vintage Winston, Akira Foxmind. Thank you so much for your long and incredibly generous support of the channel, and also thank you for teaching the nameless hero some basics of etiquette when dealing with the fire magicians. Thanks to you, he had none of that lip with them, cooperated, started a long-lasting friendship with Milton, and got the best kind of reward from Torres, a mana expanding potion. It's not the first and not the final time you helped us increase our magical powers. And on a final note, I'd like to say thanks to my free Patreon members as well as to each and every one of you for making it to the end of today's 5th episode covering our 5th day in the colony. You know what? I really like this diary split of the episodes. Let's see if this kind of split will make sense for future episodes, but know that we've beaten 1/4 of our journey through the game. It feels like we're still at the beginning, but trust me, the game is gonna dramatically pick up the pace, and I can't wait to show you the next episode. Now guys, talking about my Patreon supporters, most of you I know are Tomb Raider fans, so do not worry. The 13th floor episode for Tomb Raider 5 Remastered is recorded, and I just need the hours to put into it to edit the damn thing, and that's exactly what I'm gonna be able to do on Sunday from dawn till dusk to finally deliver this episode for you. And as a special treat, it's a level that I ran twice, second time in more of a stealthy Mission Impossible style. You have a lot to look forward to. Nevertheless guys, coming back to Gothic, let's see what is it we actually achieved. So first of all, we have spent 6 skill points learning dexterity and increasing it by 6. We have on top of that spent 10 and 10 skill points on becoming trained with one-handed weapons and with bows. We are quite the versatile character now. Furthermore, we have the battle sword, 33 power weapon equipped, and field bow 28 damage, which is massive, but there's a better bow I have my sights on that I want to get to soon. Other than having the same Digger's Trousers and Nex Amulet and the Ring of Power, we have also increased our mana pool by 5 via that permanent potion, and we drank 2 additional potions improving our strength. This is incredible. And just look at our total combined fortune of 602 arrows, 279 bolts, and 3,158 ore, 1,000 ore nuggets more than we started the episode with, despite spending 1,000 to bribe Thoros for early entry, but I think it was absolutely worth it. Now at the very bottom of the text you'll see our achievements count has in fact decreased by 1. Why is that? My friends, I want to talk about the self-defeat achievement. Thanks to your kind comment, I was notified that my method in the second episode does not in fact work. So, I have since installed the Gothic Classic PS5 version and played it around to test all sorts of achievements, and Self-Defeat has in fact had its wording updated, saying it can now only unlock when you defeat someone with their own named unique weapon. I had no idea this is what they meant, but my first instinct was, you know what, let's go beat up Whistler, pick up his sword again, and then beat him up with that weapon. Imagine my surprise when the achievement did not unlock, so I thought, okay, maybe it needs to be someone who starts with their own named unique weapon, which is in fact not Whistler's case. And I'm happy to say I found the perfect victim for this achievement, but you'll have to be a bit patient, because I'm gonna unlock it in the next 6th episode, and that someone is inside the Brotherhood of the Sleeper, which is where I'm gonna see you guys next. And until then, may the Sleeper awaken.
Jeśli tak uważasz. Jeśli myślisz, że to nie mój problem. Myślałem, pewnie masz rację.